I understand you, received a complaint from, what are they called? The Office of National Statistics for last night's news show. Is that correct?
This whole outrage. Storm in a teacup. Welcome to the news business. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. We are WTNBT. We tell nothing but truth. Was net immigration over 600K? Yep. Were there 6.3 million crimes last year? Yep again. They give us the stats and we report them. Simple. They say we shouldn't have reported both stats together as if they were related. But are they really that separate? You tell me.
Second news night, Lucy. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm genuinely excited for tonight. I handpicked our guest to ensure we can have a reasoned, factual discussion about the statues and monuments issue. Too often, the conversation gets drowned in emotions, but I'm hopeful that tonight, we can shed light over heat. Let's see how it goes. Good evening. The fall of Bristol's Edward Colston statue has ignited a nationwide debate. Tonight, to shed light on this, we're joined by Professor Camilla Minchin from the School of Oriental and African Studies in London. Professor, welcome to the show. Professor, for those unaware, could you provide a brief background on who Edward Colston was and his significance?
Diving straight into the cauldron, I see. Well, to put it succinctly, Edward Colston was a 17th century English merchant, philanthropist, and Member of Parliament. A beacon of charitable contributions to Bristol on one hand, but the dark shadow. His portfolio swelled thanks to the transatlantic slave trade, most notably via the Royal African Company.
Given this history, some argue his statue in Bristol was an affront, while others see it as preserving history. What's your perspective on this?
Well, it's important to understand the context.
Lucy, come on. Was the chap a saint or a sinner? Shove the bint off the fence, will you?
Deeply intertwined with the slave trade. The statue was erected in the late 19th century, a time with different values. The decision to place or remove such monuments often reflects the prevailing societal values of the time.
We've seen a strong push from some quarters to remove similar statues or rename buildings. From a historical standpoint, how should we approach this?
Well, it's a matter of historical reconciliation, Lucy. Instead of erasing, we can contextualize.
Geez, Lucy, maybe you two should have a girls' night out and decide what to think. We want answers, not a history lesson.
Of these figures and their impact.
Is there a risk of history being rewritten with such actions?
Well, Lucy, history is constantly being re-evaluated as we gain more knowledge and perspectives. It's not about rewriting, as you say, but rather it's about expanding our understanding.
What's your takeaway from tonight's debate?
What a bloody yawn fest. I mean, come on. We bring in a professor, and she dances around like it's a bloody ballet. No meat, just fluff.
But some would argue it was a measured, insightful take on a sensitive topic. Sorry to speak over you.
Huh? Measured? Insightful? We're WTNBT News. People want fiery debates, not a bloody lecture. God, I almost dozed off. And that Professor Minchin, she's the type who probably goes on about manspreading on the bloody tube.
But don't you think such perspectives help in understanding the nuances of a subject?
All that guff about nuance. This isn't a poetry class. We need headlines, not bloody haikus. Lucy, bless her, is trying too hard, but playing it safe won't get us the ratings.
How do you feel that went, Lucy?
Yeah, fantastic. I think it was enlightening. It's about time we had a discussion rooted in knowledge rather than just emotion.
Zach felt it was, well, a bit dull. Your response?
Why am I not surprised? Zach and I have different tastes. While he craves the drama, I think our audience deserves depth. Professor Minchin gave us a well-rounded perspective.
But do you think such an approach will resonate with WTNBT's core audience?
I believe in our viewers. I think they appreciate when we rise above the sensationalism and provide something more substantial.
Your relationship with Zach is interesting. If you could recommend a book for him to read, any guesses which one it might be?
Let's see. Probably The Digital Age of Journalism, Embracing New Paradigms. But let's be honest, I suspect Zach's still figuring out how to turn a Kindle on.
Good morning, Britain. Hope you didn't trip over any statues on your way to work. Ah, what a world we live in, right? Statues on trial, history books redacted. Next thing you know, the Tower of London will be converted into a vegan smoothie bar. Welcome to the People's Pulse, the only place where you still get a pulse of what's really happening. Oh boy, Professor Minchin there putting the snooze in history snoozium. Why examine our history when we can just rewrite it, am I right? As per usual, I'm expecting my good listeners to talk some sense into these people. Lines are open. Let's go.
Nick, you hit the nail on the head. Colston made Bristol what it is. What's with this historical cleansing?
Exactly, Dave. It's like they want to delete the past and upload some politically correct nonsense. Error 404. British history not found.
Nick, can we at least try to look at both sides? History isn't just about sound bites.
Ah, Anna, the voice of treason. Sorry, I mean reason. Why focus on facts when you can follow a fad, right? Anna, the voice of reason, or, as I've just decided, the voice of let's all hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and forget what made this country great. So, enlighten me, Anna. What's your both sides of the story?
Well, Nick, I think it's important to critically examine our history, not just glorify it blindly.
Critically examine? Ah, music to my ears. Should we critically examine why the sky's blue next? Or why the grass is green? Maybe that's oppressive too. I'm sure someone somewhere is drafting a petition.